You have this 3 years flexibility to get only 0.5% of
What?
your corporate income tax.
Hi, everybody. This is Flo from Ayla. Welcome back to our podcast series. We try to navigate around the Indonesian landscape for being entrepreneur or relocating to Indonesia. I'm today with Penny. Penny, so you're Indonesian. You
Yes, I am.
have experience with working with foreigners, foreign companies. So I'm very
Yes.
excited today to have you for this podcast, and I'm happy to navigate with you most of the question. Probably also people have before moving to Indonesia, or if they have already an existing business here.
Yes.
So first question, and that is very, I think, interesting. You're from Jakarta. You're living. You lived a lot in Jakarta. I know you. It's always the question that I have, and you also know Bali. How do you see, as an Indonesian first, your country changing and evolving, especially Jakarta and Bali, but also other areas? And how are you positive for the development of your country?
Okay, so as an Indonesian, I feel not Jakarta, Indonesia is developing a lot. So since I was a college, I was college study in Jakarta, but before that I was in Malang and I was born in Sulawesi, and then I've been traveling with my family to Kalimantan and so on. So everything is evolving. Back then when I was still in a college, there's no high-rise building a lot in Jakarta. Now we have MRT, we have more school, we have more university, which is good. Uh, Meaning it's good for our community, society, for everyone in Indonesia. So and then when I now recently, uh, like this year, I frequently go back and forth to Bali. I saw Bali is wow, it's different now. When I was in high school, I was with a bus from Malang, go here, went here, and then I was just in Kuta
Yeah,
in a small hotel,
yeah.
okay, with all my high school friends. And now there's so many luxury villa, a big hotel. So I think, okay, now Bali is something different
Yeah, so
compared.
Bali was what, like a countryside, let's say, before.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's like a countryside when nobody looks. It's just a small province. It's an island because Indonesia has a lot of islands.
yeah,
Yeah,
14 to 17,000.
yes,
Yeah,
and then everything is more centralized in Java. So most of my time is in Java. We have East Java, West Java, Central Java, and now Bali is one of that people consider to live, to visit, to make a business.
yeah.
Yes,
So this is an interesting point what you say. So it's not only also foreigners that are considering to move. It's also a lot of people from Jakarta are
yeah,
also moving to Bali. So you said, yeah, there is a lot of villas. So indeed, there is a lot of opportunities in terms of tourism industry, because Bali has been known for the tourism. But I think, and I don't know what is your feeling on that, that Bali became also something more than that, more than a tourism place, because you have a lot of people from Jakarta, like we said, but foreigners coming here and bringing also ideas and developing also business. Before, you had to go to Jakarta also if you just wanted to develop a business, because government is there, but you can develop here. And you have also, we are talking about blockchain in a previous quickly, but blockchain is one of the place where people are developing also in Bali.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah. In many years, people only recognize Bali as a tourism. Meanwhile, when in Jakarta, it's a big corporation, it's B2B. The different thing is that all of the government, politics, businesses in Jakarta, and then now suddenly I saw in Bali, there's a lot of communities, starting with the blockchains.
yeah,
So people are now in cryptocurrency, in a Bitcoin. They're more, a lot of them here. They're starting from here, actually, and then they become bigger, bigger. They have a community again in Jakarta, but I would say in Bali is more active.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the associations in Jakarta, but the people who got interest in Bitcoin, blockchains, yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot
the
in here.
technology is
The
also.
technology, and
Well,
then
I think what made the changes is also with the COVID. A lot of people, I mean, you can say because you're also from here, a lot of people from Jakarta during the COVID moved here.
yes,
And by moving here, also the way of work has changed. You can work more online now, so you can also have your business develop here. And even if you still to have the politic, you can just fly to Jakarta and
yeah.
having your connection in
Yeah,
a
it's not long. It's only
yeah
2 hours. If
yeah
you have something, you need to attend meeting, you need to see government, you just go there.
yeah
Meanwhile, if everything, this is what the technologies come like. You can work remotely. You can work anywhere. Uh, so yes, that's why also that make Bali interesting. Now with the government also open for the digital nomads. Now the government has an ideas that if you want to come to Bali for work, even they open this for digital nomad visa
yeah
and everything. So yes,
yeah. It's good
it's
for people to know that there is also a way now to work in Indonesia as a foreigner
yes,
with legal visa.
yeah,
Before you needed to have what a company and to
yes,
be hired by a company,
yes,
but now you can get what they call remote worker visa, what
yes,
second home visa,
yes,
golden visa.
yes.
Yeah, a lot of
A
visa.
lot of visa actually. So before that, that only a limited option if you want to live and stay. You want to start a business, definitely you need to have a company. If you want to stay here, you need to have a company, or you have a spouse, Indonesian
Yeah.
spouse, unlimited, or you retired with minimum age of 55. Okay, now you want in your, let's say after you graduate, I want to work from Bali
Yeah.
for your European company, for
Yeah.
United States company. You can come here with this digital nomad visa, well, legally. Actually everything is legal now.
Yeah, that's good to know, because a lot of people, like you said, once maybe have their company outside Indonesia, and their company or their employer, and they don't need to be at the office all the time,
Yes,
and they can work here from here, and infrastructure is much even more and more better
more and
than
more
that it
better.
was before. Talking about making even MRT now, they're talking in terms
Yeah,
to
in
do it.
Bali
Yeah,
also I heard it will
yeah,
be built soon.
yeah.
Yeah, but okay, one thing that I found with digital nomad is that it's also a gate, a bridge for entrepreneur, for a big corporations. If they want to study first about Indonesia, about Bali, about Jakarta, they can send someone here,
Yeah.
legally work without even creating first their company.
Yeah.
So it's a good strategy for them to enter the market, to
Yeah,
enter
because
Indonesia.
before you had to maybe make a representative
Yes,
office, and with
exactly.
the representative office behind
Yes,
to have your employee here, but you can now with this kind of visa
yes. You can
making.
consider
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one.
You
Yes,
still need a representative
yes,
office if you want to go in negotiation for
exactly.
things. It
Yes,
helps, and if you want to hire local people
yes,
as well. But I think yeah, it's a good thing. And as the good point you said, I think it's a first taste of Indonesia. Yeah, as you have much more on the market, like Jakarta or other provinces,
yes.
but Bali is a first taste. You, one of the question that I have for you is how is it complicated to create a business in Indonesia? As an Indonesian,
Well,
maybe for you it's obvious, but for people who are looking or watching us, and they maybe want to know how is it difficult to create a business? How many shareholders, for example, can I create a business by myself?
Okay, so actually creating a business is not that complicated now. Oh, back then in 2018, with the government system in Indonesia, bureaucracy and everything is quite complicated. It takes months. And now it's depending on what your business. Actually, you can set up a company within only 5 working days, 3 to 5 working days, or even 14 days. It's depending on a license, actually.
Wow, it's very
Yeah.
fast. That's
Yes.
cool.
Now everything is digitalized. You can do, not everything can be done online, but it shortened the stage to create a company.
Okay, but how many people? If I'm alone, let's say I want to create my business here in Indonesia, can I do it myself? I mean, or do I need a local partner? Because
Uh,
I hear sometimes people say, yeah, you need a local partner. Do I need a
okay.
local partner?
So now Indonesia has opened many industry for 100% foreign ownership, with only minimum two shareholders.
Okay,
Yes, you need two minimum shareholders. Can be individual, can be corporations. You can set up your company, and most of the industry is open 100%
that's great.
for foreign ownership. Yeah, let's
That's
say
great.
back then, when you all want to open a trading company, a distributor company, you need to have a local partner. Now you can have
So
everything
if
done for you.
if I, let's say I have an e-commerce company in Singapore or in Philippines or in France,
You can
can
open.
I can
Yes,
open? Oh,
you
that's
can open
great.
100%. Even
That's
back
good.
then, before the new decree, so you need to invest to get 100% foreign ownership is 100 billion.
Okay.
Now it's less with
Okay.
100% foreign ownership.
Okay. So I have my product in I don't know in Europe, and I want to export import here. It's possible,
It's possible, of
and I
course.
can make the distribution here.
Yes, you can make the distributions. You can
Yeah,
sell on
that's
e-commerce.
good
You
point.
can sell to the retailer, to the wholesaler. You can import and you can sell it online.
Okay. Do I need to register my product if I do that?
Okay, depending what is your product. Okay,
Okay.
so if you are in a food and beverage, definitely something that consume, something that use, inside outside, it's necessary to be registered,
Okay.
because the benefit is that you can sell nation in
Wow.
Indonesia
To
around it.
270 million
Yeah,
people.
270 million population.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, if you start in Jakarta, it's already 10 million. Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
exposure, yes,
yeah.
already.
Yeah.
And then with the e-commerce, which is technology digitalized, everyone use it in Indonesia.
Yeah.
So yes, that's
So
the
if I have a
beauty.
restaurant here, for example, I want to make a restaurant in Indonesia. We talk about another episode about a cafe that was very famous in Bali and Jakarta. So if I want, let's say, to import my product, it's possible to import. Yeah,
Yes.
I need to register them. This is what you say. The first thing is to register the product, and once I register, I can make the distribution or I can sell in
Yeah.
my own business.
Yeah, if you use it for selling, you need to register.
Okay.
Okay, but if you use it for your own restaurant, let's say like you buy a meat locally, or you buy, that's not registered. But something that you sell within your store, you make a jam, you make a cookies, you make another biscuit, something that need to be registered. Yeah.
Okay. And for some technical products, I need also to register like SNI or things like that.
Yes, for something that produce massive, you need also SNI.
Okay.
SNI is like a standard national
Identification,
identifications.
yeah.
Yes, so the government recognize when you are in manufacturing, when you have a big, let's say a fridge, aircon, lamp, something like that. Yes, Bob, you need to register
So
SNI.
basically, I can do now in Indonesia almost everything. It's an open country for
For sure,
business. If I
yeah.
have cosmetic products or whatever,
Well,
I can
yes,
do.
definitely. I dealing with a lot of foreign company, uh, locally and international. So it's everything is equal compete.
Okay.
Okay. So now also the local product, they want to compete, they register their product. Okay, they can compete with some of a foreign brand, international brand, and it's equal. So can you imagine how massive is our uh, target market in Indonesia. There's a lot.
Yeah.
So it's now you can compete. It's just about how you marketing your product, what is the benefit of your product. And for sure, if you're not register your product, that will be disadvantage for you
Yeah,
because
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Talking about advantage, Indonesia is one of the biggest Muslim country in the world, and there is something halal certification
Yes.
or something that's so what for people I think who wants to import here or make distribution here, getting this certification is a big differentiation because the consumer here. So it's important, I think, when people also are looking to make business here is to understand the market. So
Yes.
first to make a business strategy, to have a
Yes.
proper business plan, and to understand how your consumer are working. And one of the differentiation as an important Muslim country is also this halal certification that will be also mandatory
It's
soon. Huh?
mandatory soon.
Yeah.
So there's for food and beverage, if I'm not mistaken, by 2024, you need to be registered. Cosmetic also in 2024 or 2026. So everything that after you registered, you need to be register halal. So if you're non-halal, you need to be declare also that you are non-halal.
Okay.
So it's just for consumer protections, so they know your product. And now government is already implement that. So and since that yes, as you said, our population is Muslim, 80% is Muslim. So they're more likely to see which one is halal,
Okay.
which one is not. So,
So you said it's easy, 3 days to 2 weeks, depending the business activity. You can make your business 100%, even if well, you have probably some restricted things or where you need sometimes a local partner. But let's say, if, I mean, like for uh, mining or things that are a bit more
complicated.
complicated or not complicated, but
That takes time.
more, I would say, national interest. You
Yes.
know, so quite easy. You can register your product and distribute to 270 million people or consumer. One of the questions that I have is, can I own an asset as a foreigner or a foreign entity in Indonesia? So let's say I have a business, I want to own my manufacturer, my land. I'm an individual. I want to buy or own a property in Indonesia. Can I do it? Or you have some countries like Vietnam. Everything belongs to the government, and
Yes.
you cannot really own something. So as a foreigner or as a foreign company, do I own the assets in Indonesia? Because very important. Some people, when they inject cash, maybe sometimes they're afraid that the asset doesn't belong to them.
Actually, yes, you can with your foreign entity, with your entity. Okay, so there's a two way of seeing this. You want to do business or you want to live here. Okay, even when you are
But if I want to do both,
or you want to do both, just do from your entity. You can have a property with your entity
okay.
name on it, and then you can also start your business with
So
your
when you
entity.
say you have your property, can I have the property registered under my name or under my entity,
Your
or
entity.
is it just a contract like that, or is it really recognized by the government?
Yes, actually, by your entity, recognized by the government. If the contract, it's meaning between parties, so it need to be registered to be recognized by the government.
But my question, okay, I will be a bit more clear, is can I own a freehold property in Indonesia?
Yes, you can.
Okay, this is important, I think, for
Yes, of
people
course.
because sometimes you look and you say, yeah, but in France or in Australia, when I have my property, it's not under my name. What happened with the owner? So if I buy let's say I buy something to you,
You can.
property or a manufacturer
Yes.
or a villa or an hotel is will be under my name, and do you lose your rights, or do you still have the rights, or the rights are for me?
So when it comes to property, okay, if I sell to a foreign company, even to a local company, to entity, well, actually, I sell it to you. You
Okay,
own it.
that's good to
You
know.
own it.
Yeah.
You own it with a different title of entity, different of ownership on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm
So
the owner.
yes, you're the
That's good.
owner.
So if you invest money in Indonesia, the asset is under the company and
Company.
it's yours, so you
Yeah, it's
don't lose
yours.
money with that,
No.
and you don't have the risk that your partner or whatever take.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
it will be belong to the entity.
But let's go about property because I think it's something also that is working a lot, I think, in Bali and the rest of Indonesia because there is a lot of Lombok or Sumba. Sumba is one of the places
Wow.
also where
Yes.
a lot of people are investing. Is it complicated in terms of procedure, or what do you recommend for people who are listening? What are maybe the procedure or the points to pay attention? Because I can be the owner, but there
Okay.
is, yeah.
So before you purchase any property, it is necessary that you need to check first is the locations. Apart from the, of course, the legal aspect is very important too. Because there's a few type of ownership or even a paper of the ownership of the land itself. So it's important to check. Okay, so due diligence, land due diligence. I mean here, it's very important before you setting up your entity to own the property.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's necessary
So
to
what do you check on due diligence,
I
for
check
example?
like say the zoning.
Okay.
Okay, the access road, the
So,
locations.
but what is the zoning?
The zoning is the area of the purpose of this land, this area,
Okay.
because there's an area for residential, which is you cannot open for a business, tourism.
Okay.
That's only for residential sometimes,
Okay.
yeah. But it's depending on the also from the province on the government. You can check if you can put something in the
Yeah, I think it's important to summarize again for people when you buy something or you let's say you want to make a manufacture in Indonesia,
yes,
you cannot make the manufacture everywhere.
yes,
Okay, it's like in other countries in the world. You want to make a discotheque
yeah.
or a nightclub.
It should
You know, it
be
should be in
in
a
a
touristic
commercial, yeah,
or
yeah,
touristic area or commercial where
yes.
you can build. You want to make a restaurant. You cannot make on a
On the
green zone
then
because
yes,
it's supposed to be
be
for
for
agriculture.
yes.
So this is what you check when you do.
Yes,
Okay.
it's important to check. Yes, the first thing first, yes. Because depending on your purpose to have this property.
Okay.
If it's just for stay, yeah, you can. But if it's for stay, you need to also check. I don't want to stay. Next to me is the discotheque. Next to
Yeah,
me is
I
a
mean it can
maneuver.
be again depending the purpose. If you want to make a business, probably an hotel is good to be next to a nightclub or a villa because you
Yes,
will rent it out on Airbnb for people going
yes,
for a nightclub. Now, if your purpose is for long term, you
yeah,
probably don't want to rent on the. You will
exactly.
probably not have somebody renting every month somebody next to a nightclub. So
Yes,
so so like you said, business is I think, and it's very important also because I was looking at numbers the last few days, also in a general way how the property around the world is evolving, and we have a lot more and more offer on the market here, so a lot of people are invest the last few years,
yes,
and the demand is higher, but
yeah,
the demand is less high than what the offer on the market has been.
yeah,
So when you go to invest in any business, and especially at the moment on the property, I think it's good to go to professional who can also orient you where is good and when is it still the right time to invest in this area because Indonesia is big.
yes.
There is a lot. If we go to other places, not only Bali, but you go to east of Indonesia, Raja Ampat,
Raja
or
Ampat,
other places, it's
Sumba,
fully booked.
Lombok,
Yeah,
Sumbawa,
fully booked
fully
for
booked.
many years, sometimes in advance. While in Bali, some people invest in a property, and the property is not fully booked because he has 20 property around them.
Yes,
So go to professional who can also indicate where
where
and when to invest. Very important
exactly?
out of the legal part because the legal part basically
Yeah, it's
you can we can check, you can look at that, but this is not what is going to make you money because what you want to do, I guess, is to make money
of
and
course.
and at the end to have a
Yes, yes.
profit and return on
It's
investment.
also
Yeah,
important, yes, to check the timing.
yeah,
Now, after COVID, it's not only foreign investor that coming to Bali. It's
yeah,
also domestic.
yeah,
A lot of Jakarta, people from Jakarta investing also in Bali.
yeah,
Okay, so if you are as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you want to consider another part of Indonesia, which is a lot of touristic area
yeah,
that you can explore more. Okay, let's say even me, I'm Indonesian. I sometimes, oh, there's this island. Wow, so beautiful. Why not all foreign
Yeah,
investor consider to this place? Okay, perhaps there's something that infrastructure is not built yet. Well, that's a solution for you to invest
exactly. Yeah.
to
We go back
build
to
there.
another one. Even if there is not infrastructure,
Hmm.
maybe there is a business to make infrastructure to
Exactly. Yeah.
develop, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, Sumba, for example, is one of the islands at the moment I really love.
Yes.
And everything, I mean, is almost fully booked there. It's very famous for surfing, and some people
Exactly.
famous for scuba diving around or horsing. I mean, it's
Yes.
beautiful. It's also a place to invest,
Yes.
and don't don't wait
I.
sometimes, you know, because most of the time as an entrepreneur we say, oh, if I have done it 10 years ago, it's the moment to do
To,
that, because
yeah.
in 10 years you would say,
So
if I knew 10 years ago I would invest
yeah.
that, you know. It's
Now.
like people at the beginning. Oh, well, I go back to a previous discussion. Seminyak was the end,
Yeah.
and oh, don't go to Malas, it's too far, you
Far
know.
now.
Or Canggu.
Umalas now.
People who invest in Canggu 10 or 15 years ago, now they sell it 5 or 6 times the price. So look, there is a lot. Labuan Bajo. Labuan Bajo
Oh
is a
yeah.
place that just explodes, and
Exactly.
a lot of villa, and it's
Yes.
booked. And sometimes you have a better occupancy by investing there
Yeah.
than to investing on a property that a property developer tried to sell to you in Bali, because the price is cheap, because actually next to the sea is too expensive
Yeah.
for you, or the capital investment is much higher. But in Labuan Bajo or whatever, you have a sea view, you're close to the sea, you wake up in the morning from your bedroom, and you have ocean
So
view.
yes.
And this you can sell for vacation to people who are
Yeah.
coming. So it's very important.
Yeah.
Indonesia has a lot of
A lot of
opportunity.
opportunities. So if you just go off the trend,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not saying it's not a good business. I'm not saying we need to be more smart, improve where
Yeah.
to allocate our investment.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important to study the market, hire professional to do so, and then yeah, you can see a lot of opportunity where
Yeah.
to go.
So like you said, so we can be, people can be owner. Okay, so I mean, it's, you can make a business yourself. You can you don't need a local partner. It's fast. It's to set up your business. It's open to many location. You can register your product even if you have already a product.
Yeah.
Due diligence, like you said, very important, but due diligence on the business, manufacturer, can I make my production here, or can I open my restaurant here,
Yes.
so very important to check, because in terms of tax, ownership, legality,
Yes.
make sure that also the land doesn't belong to somebody else that is trying to sell. Road
Exactly.
access
The road
also
access,
very
location,
important,
very
because
important.
Indonesia is very also community, and a lot of land before belonged to a farmer that was
Yes.
surrounded by over farm, and he
Yeah.
sell to you the land that is in
Or
the
if it's
middle.
belong to a family
Yeah,
or many of
exactly.
family
Yeah, yeah,
member, and they're
yeah,
having the dispute,
yeah,
they disagree to sell the land,
yeah.
so it is
Very
important.
important.
Yes.
How many stories where you get the land from the farmer,
Mm-hmm.
you build your house, and all the land around belongs to other people, and
And
you cannot access to your
yes.
property.
Yeah.
So very important to check
Very
that.
important.
But not only for that, but for different kind of business. Yeah,
Especially, yeah, if you
yeah,
are want to build a hotel, if
yeah,
you want to build a villa, you need to consider next you,
yeah,
in front of you, what you sell from your villa. Oh, I want to sell a sea view from my villa, and suddenly something built up in front
yeah.
of
Very
you.
important. Yeah,
Oh, I said, oh my God. So that is very important. Also, need to know the plan, the blueprint
exactly.
of
Yeah.
how the mapping of your location.
It's very, very important. And one of the other point, I think, as a business, or as a company, if you want to come to Indonesia, you want to expand, so you have different way, huh? Like we said, you can create your company, but you can have a representative office, or you can
Yes,
send your worker first to test the market.
exactly.
Um, and what is an important thing is every business, the purpose, well, it's to find a solution to a problem, but behind also is to make money. And
Exactly.
what is the taxation in Indonesia? Is it a country that with heavy tax, or can you can
Okay.
yeah,
So actually, for Indonesia is welcome country. Okay, we actually tax friend.
Welcoming country.
Yeah, welcoming country. We're not that high on taxations. It's just you need to know which tax that will impact you. For instance, but Indonesia is flexible for the if you are a new business owner, you have this 3 years flexibility to get only 0.5%
What?
of your corporate income tax.
Wow.
Yes, with a threshold, if you're not reached the 4.8 billion
Which is
revenue,
around what in dollar 300
yes, three
something, no?
hundred thousand
Yeah,
dollars something.
well,
Yes,
it's very
yeah,
low.
but
This is
yes,
okay, yeah.
and in
Sometimes
your
people
first
talk
three
about
years,
Dubai or other countries,
oh
but
yeah,
actually in Indonesia, yeah. By the way, Dubai increased the corporate income tax, so yeah. So it's good to know. So the taxation is quite good,
yes,
but you have it's still not a paradise, huh? You need, I mean, you have tax, but behind you have also some local tax,
local tax,
and
yes,
you have rules. Okay, I think it's important to say to people because be careful also. This is what I want to say because with the experience, also talking with different people, they come to Indonesia, they think that there is no rules. So, like you said, you have a low tax, but you have also over local tax, and this local tax has to be you know,
implement,
clearly
yeah, okay,
plan. I think
yes,
in your tax planning, in your business plan,
yes.
because sometimes you come here and you don't
Well,
do your tax, and at the end you can be you can have problem or you didn't plan that in advance, and
yes.
suddenly it makes you a loss. So it's very important.
Very important.
Yeah,
Very important to know your plan, your tax planning. It's not that you make business and you don't pay tax. You pay tax definitely
yeah.
in every
Everywhere
country,
around the world.
everywhere around the world.
Yeah,
It's
somebody
just
that say I don't pay
I
tax,
don't
it's
no
not
no no.
true. Yeah,
It's not true. It's
yeah,
not true. Even me, I'm Indonesian. I pay tax.
yeah.
My personal, my corporate tax, everything we need to pay tax. It's just when you in some business, you need to pay also the local tax. Let's say if you are in a tourism, in the food and beverage, let's say like in Bali, you need to pay a local tax in Bali.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you also have some corporate income tax.
Yeah,
Okay,
like you said, zero
yeah,
point
zero
0.5 at the
point 0.5.
beginning. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah,
But of course, definitely, if your business increasing,
yeah.
you also that's the most important that you strategize your tax
Yeah, because
planning.
you have VAT or something
Okay,
after. Yeah,
yes, yes,
so you need to register all these things.
yes.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
if
It's
you're
not a far. I mean, in French we say Far West. I don't know. It's not. It's not a place with no regulation.
it's
It's very important because when you relocate, sometimes you relocate, you start your business, you move your family here, or you expand your business. You're a big corporation. You come here, and at the end, people say, "Yeah, no, you don't pay tax. You don't have to do that." And this is few months after or a few years after when everything is already settled that you start to have problem
yeah,
because you didn't do. So it's very important to plan that, to register your documentation, to have
yes,
the proper license, because this is where after the tax office come to you.
yes,
Don't
exactly.
trust sometimes.
Don't skip
Yeah,
so if it sometimes it mostly happen when you said, "Yeah, I'm not starting the business yet. I have no revenue." Well, even though that you don't have
yeah,
revenue yet, you need to declare.
yeah,
Even you are lost, you need to declare because in the following years, if you're making revenue, they need to know your history.
yeah.
So yes, we need to follow the rules. It's necessary. So planning wisely, so you don't have any problem in the future.
And even before this podcast, I heard something new is that also if you're a restaurant now, everything is registered
Yeah, with
through like a
the
machine,
machine.
and
Yes.
everything is communicated directly now to the tax office.
Yes.
So Indonesia is a modern country. I mean, it is well developed. Everything is
Yeah.
connected. You can make successful business here with one of the biggest, I think. In terms of resources, in terms of also customer, and but you have to follow rules and
Yes.
to pay,
Yes.
declare your tax. We
Declare
can
your tax.
optimize, so there
Yes.
is way to optimize with Singapore, with other Dubai, other countries. Talk to
To the
professional
expert,
tax
yes.
planner. I mean, you can talk to us or other people,
Yeah.
but it's important to do
It's
that.
important also.
Yeah.
It's important to bring your money in. So because sometimes people say, "Oh, there's a lot of money I need to invest." Well, the money that you invest is for your operations.
Yeah.
It's for your company. It's not necessary like you put it and you cannot do anything.
So yeah, talking about capital injection, let's say I'm a individual and or I have a company and I want to buy a manufacture or buy a property here, a villa. I have 500. The property costs 500K, but I have only 300. How can I finance the 200? If I go to a bank, let's say I'm a newcomer on the market, I go to a bank and I get the loan.
Well, it's almost impossible to
Yeah.
get a loan, but there's a few way how you to get a loan.
Okay.
So we can help you with that. So there's a strategy how to get a loan.
Yeah.
There's a way
Yeah,
to get a
because
loan.
most of the time the companies, I mean the bank, they are scared.
Yes.
As a foreigner, you want to borrow money to the bank. They say, yeah, but you're a foreign entity, you're a
Yeah.
foreigner. Maybe you're going to run away. How can I get my money back? Or if you're in Australia or Russia or France, you ask to your bank in your country to invest in Indonesia. They will say Indonesia, sometimes where is it, how I can
Yes,
how
yes,
I
yeah.
get my money back.
Yes.
So I know it's very difficult. There is more and more solution, but let's say for a first property it's impossible. But do you do on leasehold or do you do it on freehold?
Oh, it should be on a freehold
Yeah,
because
because
this is in ownership.
you need a collateral behind.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, you need the
yeah.
collateral behind. That's the one that can make money to your
That's great.
loan.
I mean, this is a great news because we have probably a lot of people who want to leverage. We were talking about great location. You have maybe $500,000. You want to invest on a great location next to the
Yes.
sea, but it's 700,000. How do I do? Basically, you can help with that,
Yes.
which is very good news for people.
Yep.
Yeah.
For your property, even for your working capital.
Working capital.
Yes.
Yeah. So if I have a company, I want to get money for my working capital.
Yeah.
I can.
Yes, you can. Yes.
That's
There's
fantastic.
another solutions. Yeah. So with the leverage of your company.
Yeah.
Yeah. So working capital also possible.
Okay, so let's say I need for 3 months working capital for running my business.
Yeah.
I can get based on some collateral like invoices or something in
Yes.
behind.
Yes.
I can get money. That's a great
Yeah.
news for people because I know a lot of foreigners are looking how to get this money and get mortgage in Indonesia, and it's very interesting news because not so many people are doing that on the market.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. So basically, yeah, easy, fast to make company. Everything open. You can import or distribute, export your
Exactly.
product. You can own the asset, and more than that, you can also finance your asset, and you can even finance your business with that. Thank you so
Exactly.
much for your time.
Thank
It was
you.
great.
Yeah,
Thank
it's a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you, everybody. If you have questions, just by comment or send you your message, and we'll be happy to reply with
All of
Penny
your
to all
questions,
your
yes.
questions. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Have a
Thank
good day. Bye
you.
bye.